mantras of our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says in moments of trial, faith in the divine protection and the call for that protection at all times, the faith that what the divine wills is the best is all that matters. With always our love and blessing, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, Book 5, the Book of Love, Canto 3, Satyavan and Savitri, page 403, last line. In the great tapestried chambers of her state, free in her boundless palace, I have dwelt, indulged by the warm mother of us all, reared with my natural brothers in her house. I lay in the wide bare embrace of heaven. The sunlight's radiant blessing clasped my brow. The moonbeams' silver ecstasy at night kissed my dim lids to sleep. Earth's morns were mine, lured by faint murmurings, with the green-robed hours. I wandered, lost in woods, prone to the voice of winds and waters, partner of the sun's joy, a listener to the universal speech. My spirit, satisfied within me, knew God-like our birthright, luxuried our life, whose close belongings are the earth and skies. Before fate led me into this emerald world, aroused by some foreshadowing touch within, an early prescience in my mind approached the great dumb animal consciousness of earth, now grown so close to me, who have left old palms to live in this grandiose murmur, dim and vast. Already I met her in my spirit's dream, as if to a deeper country of the soul, transposing the vivid imagery of earth through an inner see and sense. A awakening came. A visioned spell pursued my boyhood's hours. All things the eye had caught in colored lines were seen anew through the interpreting mind, and in the shape it sought to seize the soul. An early child God took my hand that held, moved, guided by the seeking of his touch, bright forms and hues which fled across his sight, limned upon page and stone, they spoke to men. High beauty's visitants my intimates were, the neighing pride of rapid life that roams, wind-manned through our pastures. On seeing mood cast shapes of swiftness, trooping spotted deer against the vesper sky became a song of evening to the silence of my soul. Words of our Divine Mother, taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother, book Question and Answers of 1950-51, date 30th December 1950. Quotings from the book on education, our Divine Mother has written, "We are not aiming at success, our aim is perfection. We are not seeking fame or reputation. We want to prepare ourselves for a divine manifestation." Question, sweet mother, what is perfection? For this, our Divine Mother says, some people put perfection at the apex. It is generally thought that perfection is the maximum one can do. But I say that perfection is not the apex. It is not an extreme. There is no extreme, whatever you may do. There is always the possibility of something better. And it is exactly this possibility of something better which is the very meaning of progress. Since there is no extreme, how can we attain perfection? For this, the child says, sweet mother, if we make progress, could it be said that we are going towards perfection? For this, our Divine Mother says, you are mixing up perfection and progress. You do not necessarily progress towards perfection. In progress, there is perhaps a certain perfection, but it cannot be said that progress is perfection. Progress is rather an ascent. Perfection is a harmony, an equilibrium. But what is equilibrium? You here has studied a little physics here, right? Says our Divine Mother. For this, the child says, sweet mother, in a balance when the two scales are equally loaded, it is said that it is an equilibrium and that is established. For that, our Divine Mother says, that's it. And so, what do I mean when I say that perfection is an equilibrium? When, in a given circumstance, what is against the realization, that is to say, the opposition, is conquered by a conscious force, the result is the manifestation of the realization. Yes, it is more or less like that, but I should put it otherwise, says our Divine Mother. The child says, sweet mother, the idea of perfection is something which comes to us from the divine. It descends from plane to plane and we climb back from plane to plane. For this, our Divine Mother says, this is still an evolutionary idea. It is always said that when a creation reaches its maximum possibility, this is perfection. But it is not that. And it is exactly against this idea that I protest. All this is only a rung in the progress. That is, nature goes to the extreme limit of what she has, and when she sees that she can go no further, can no longer stir, she destroys everything and begins again. This can't be called a perfection, for perfection cannot be demolished. Perfection will come only when nature can no longer undo what she has begun. For the moment, there is no instance where she has not successively undone what she has begun, believing that it was not enough or it was not that which she wanted to do. Hence, it cannot be said that she has attained perfection in her creation. It should be the maximum only if she had no need to undo what she has done. For this, the child says, Sweet mother, you say that we do not seek success, but is not success a sort of perfection? For this, our Divine Mother says, for the ordinary human mentality, success is perhaps a perfection, but not for us. Perfection is not a static state, it is an equilibrium, but a progressive, dynamic equilibrium. One may go from perfection to perfection. There can come a state from which it would not be necessary to descend into a lower rung in order to go further. At the moment, the march of nature is like that, but in this new state, instead of being obliged to go back to be able to start again, one can walk always forward without ever stopping. Our Divine Mother says, as things are, one comes to a certain point, and as human beings, as they are at present, cannot progress indefinitely. One must pass to a higher species or leave the present species and create another. The human being, as he is at the moment, cannot attain perfection unless he goes out of himself. Man is a transitional being. In ordinary language, it may be said, oh, this man is perfect, but that is a literary figure. The maximum a human being can attain just now is an equilibrium which is not progressive. He may attain perhaps a static equilibrium, but all that is static can be broken for a lack of progress. For this, the child says, Sweet mother, is not perfection the fulfillment of the divine in all parts of the being? For this, our Divine Mother says, No. What you are thinking of is again a rung in progress and not perfection. Now, we are going to try and find a definition which can fit all instances, that is, the individual, the collectivity, the earth, and the universe. We may say that perfection will be attained in the individual, the collectivity, on the earth, and in the universe when, at every moment, the receptivity will be equal in quality and quantity to the force which wants to manifest. That is the supreme equilibrium. Hence, there must be a perfect equilibrium between what comes from above and what answers from below. And when the two meet is perfect equilibrium, which is the realization, a realization in constant progress. Prayers and meditations. October 14, 1914, translated by Sri Aurobindo or revised and published under his guidance. Mother Divine, Thou art with us. Every day Thou givest me the assurance and closely united in an identity that grows more and more total, more and more constant. We turn to the Lord of the universe and to that which is beyond in a great aspiration towards the new light. All the earth is in our arms like a sick child who must be cured, and for whom one has a special affection because of his very weakness. Cradled on the immensity of the eternal becomings, ourselves those becomings, we contemplate, hushed and glad, the eternity of the immobile silence, where all is realized in the perfect consciousness and immutable existence, miraculous gate of all the unknown that is beyond. Then is the veil torn, the inexpressible glory uncovered and suffused with the ineffable splendor. We turn back towards the world to bring it the glad tidings. Lord, thou hast given me the happiness infinite. What being, what circumstance can have the power to take it away from me?